Welcome everybody to this edition of Attention Talk Video. I'm your host, ADHD and Attention Coach Jeff Copper, and we're here with Dr. Mark Burton today to talk about mindfulness. Dr. Burton, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jeff. Good to be here.
If you've watched Attention Talk Radio or video and listened to Attention Talk Radio, you know that I'm all about the insight and paying attention to what people pay attention to. And in talking to Mark Burton, we were talking about mindfulness exercises for kids with ADHD, but we started talking about teens. And the notion of, I've got a teen, if I say it, I'm wrong, and how do you get teens to kind of engage in this? And we were talking about if you talk to them and you go to the direct route, it might not work, but you got to find a point in. You want to talk to us about that?
Well, I think actually, since I'm here, I'll just put it broader for a second. I mean, one of the challenges with ADHD care and teens is that normal development, typical development, is they want to become individuals. They're trying to separate from their parents some. So I think it's an important concept for all of ADHD care to just recognize that, our relationship has to shift. We have to steer them a little differently. Maybe we have to find someone outside the family to guide them a little bit. So when it comes to mindfulness, which is what we were talking about, you might have read about it, read all the research, there's plenty of studies saying this could be beneficial, or maybe you practice it yourself and realize this is really, seems like it'd be really useful to me. But like a lot of things with teens, if their parents come straight at them and just say, do this, it'll be good for you, that about makes the chance of them doing it, zero. I mean, they're not going to do it at that point. So there's kind of an art and a creativity to living with teens always, and so anyone who has a teenager already knows that. So when it comes to mindfulness, you have to look for other ways in. And
other ways in, you've talked about other kids, other groups, other trusted advisors?
Absolutely. So, the other ways in are exactly. I mean, you always get the sense of there may be some other adult in their life that, they just, during that stage, becomes very important to them. So it could be somebody outside the family. Part of being a parent of a teenager is just recognizing that shift is natural. So it could be somebody outside the family, it could be their therapist. But a really, really great way in for teens. I mean, there's two bullet points that are really important around teens. I mean, one is they're all about the group often, so that finding groups, that work with mindfulness or doing it in schools can be a really effective way to get teens engaged. And the other is that there's a lot of, there's some research recently suggesting in public health that one of the ways to get teens engaged with anything is to make them feel like it's about their own independence. It's about them taking control. You don't not smoke because your parents say don't smoke. There's programs that are more, looking at the point of view of like, don't let the industry run your life. Don't let them take advantage of you. So you turn it around and say, like, if you want to do it for your, to take control of your own life. Mm-hmm. So that's a pretty stark example. But with mindfulness, it would come back around to more, seeing, it's that informational approach almost of like, if you can make it feel like a way that they can take control of things, that it's their decision in essence, if they can be the ones taking the lead, they're more likely to do it. And they're going to do that, through, believing it's going to have an impact. It's like all of motivation in people. Like they have to really believe it themselves that it's going to be a way that they are going to take control of their own experience.
Yeah, I have teenagers, and I know exactly what you're talking about. And I think the key to this video that I wanted to do was to have you have that mindset, because we have that instinct to talk at them, go at them. Yes. But mindfulness being this thing that's particularly for those with ADHD is really realize you have to get another way in, and particularly if you can get a group of teens to do that together, it changes the game a little bit because they're among their peers. And if you can just change that mindset, I don't think it's necessarily easy to solve this problem, but I think it's easier if you go this route than beating your head against the wall.
Absolutely. I mean, it's definitely something that, it's actually the same thing as talked about at multiple levels of this. It's like, if you find it useful, keep practicing it. And if you go tell someone else, like, you go do this, it's just not going to happen.
Yep. So any last tidbits on this? Are we good?
I think that was it. Thanks.
Well, Dr. Burton, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Hope you've enjoyed this edition of Attention Talk Video. Subscribe to our channel by hitting the subscribe button down here, and catch us next week. Take care.
Bye-bye now.